Testing 1 2. Looks like we're looking good on the mic. Hey, how's everybody doing? This is Bronze Dragon coming at you with the 106th Saturday morning stand up. That's right, more than 2 years worth of talking Splinterlands on Saturday morning. So I appreciate everybody taking a little bit of time out of their day and joining me. If I said there was a ton of stuff to talk about today, that would be putting it very lightly. Now, I pinned a question because I'm going to look at this a slightly different way. Okay, so if you haven't seen the town hall from this past week, after we get done with this discussion today, you need to go watch it because there was a literal ton of stuff. They talked about the announcement about the new card set, and they talked about several different other things. So a lot of good information. I think it ran 2.5 hours. So with that said, I'm kind of looking at one little part of that. A lot of us who do these videos have talked about the new set, the new card packs, and everything like that. Hey, Bjangles sent me a gift. Thank you very much. Let's see what Bjangles sent. Bjangles sent me over a Keelan Gaines. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We'll take a look at that after a while. But we want to... Okay, so threw me off a little bit. Let's look at chat for a minute. But my main topic here is today we're going to take a look at whatever anybody wants to talk about, right, along the new stuff kind of topics. But my thought process over the last couple of days is, and frankly, I've been thinking about this for a number of months because we're talking about how modern is going to change. And right up front, I'm not a modern player, but I had thought about, depending upon how things change as Chaos Legion cycles out of modern, is there opportunity for me to get back into modern? What would that take? So I'm still thinking about it, but the main topic that I'm asking you today is, hey, how's this going to affect your play in Splinterlands after Chaos Legion cycles out? And we can get into a bunch of number changes, whatever you all want to talk about, but that was kind of what I was thinking about over the last few days. Let's see who's in chat. The People's Guild's here. Welcome. Thanks very much, and thanks for the card as well. Says howdy to chat, and first stand-up they've been to in a while. Well, thanks for making it. Appreciate your time. Paul Taylor's in the house. Howdy. Supreme Victory Studios is here. Hey, hey, hey. And Crypto Beaver's here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in this fine world. As always, appreciate your time for stopping by. People's Guild says, a solid crew already. Yeah, we've got a bunch of people in the house. Wibble's here with the Wii. As always, can't have a live stream without that Wii. The People's Guild says, small little congratulatory gift headed your way, dude. Just took it. Thanks very much. I hadn't bought one yet, so that will be my first BCX of that. So appreciate it. Blind Mage from the North is here. Good morning. Thanks for stopping by. People's Guild says, along the lines of last time I was here, I was having a chat with Fat Jimmy today about the greatest Pink Floyd album. I say, wish you were here. He says, The Wall. Go. Well, if this was music chat, yes. But I have to agree. The Welcome to the Machine Wish You Were Here album is my favorite. I've said that a number of times. I like The Wall, but I think The Wall is better put together as far as a whole album concept, as far as how each song plays into each other, and everything that is purely going on, and the whole idea of the album. But from a pure music concept and the songs I like, definitely Welcome to the Machine. So Bolts85 is in the house. Hey, Bolts, check out the emojis. Check out the emojis. I added a Bronze Dragon energy drink emoji. I took out the baby Bronze Dragon. I'm very limited. I can only have 4 emojis until I go over 10 members. and then I can add another emoji. So I added an energy drink emoji for you. It's a little energy drink can with a bronze dragon on it. I think I want to redesign it though, so the wings aren't sticking off. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So Pompeii 72 is here. Bolts 85's in the house with the big what's up. Beer Money Engine is here. Welcome. Welcome. You know, Beer Money Engine is somebody I met while I started covering Atlas Earth, and he does a channel on play to earn games. And this is slightly off topic, but it is very related to how Splinterlands works with the DAO. We were talking about, and I'm not mentioning any game names. In fact, I think I want to do a separate episode on this. But we were discussing, he was going to pull me in on an episode about another Web3 game. And that game ended up being going through this whole turmoil. And almost went through a rug pull by one of the main people in the game who was going to do a rug pull, but the developers and other people involved ended up getting the game away from him and relocating it and taking it business. I'm not going to get into it here, but the main point here is that one of the main points with Splinterlands that I like is the DAO is separated from, and I don't want to get off on this whole money tangent, right? But one of the things I like about Splinterlands is the money part of the DAO is completely separate from the team and the company that's making the game. And I like the whole aspect that the DAO is fully funded, and then it is then we have to vote on actually paying the Splinterlands team as a third party, so to speak, as a third party contractor to be able to make the game, make new sets and things like that. I know I'm getting off on this topic, but this was a topic I was thinking about that immediately came up to my mind when he popped up on here. I was thinking about this Beer Money Engine earlier when I was working out, but here in Splinterlands, what happened with that other game we were talking about could not happen because the money all most of the tokenomics exist completely separate within another organization, which is basically run by vote. And the more tokens you own, SPS tokens, and are invested in the game, the bigger your vote is. So whenever these big votes come up and questions on money come up, then that's how it works. Completely different than that other game we were discussing. So one of the things that could what happened with that game could not happen with Splinterlands. So I think I want to make a totally different video on this. I know this is what we don't usually talk about, but it was top of mind for me when I was working out this morning, so I wanted to bring it up. One of the things I like about Splinterlands. Okay, let's get back into chat. Paul Taylor says, wrong, it's animals. Huh, interesting. I'll have to revisit animals to give you an opinion on that. I have it in my catalog, but it's not one of the ones I usually play. So I'll have to revisit it and get back to you, Paul. The People's Guild says, I knew you were a man of good taste. A little bit of drink here. I've been talking a lot, going off on SPS and the DAO. And hey, Beer Money Engine, if you want to have a discussion on that, and we can do that on the side and do a video on it or something like that. Obviously, we won't mention any names, but it's a good discussion to have. And one of the designs, one of the things that was designed into the white paper of Splinterlands, this game we talk about on Saturdays, that I really like. So. Pompeii 72 says animals and obscured by clouds. Back on the Pink Floyd topic. People's Guild says animals is number 2 for them. Bolts on the emoji. Bolts had requested an energy drink icon. Members get access for some emojis. So I had this little baby bronze dragon. Nobody was using it, so he requested an energy drink. So I might cycle the energy drink in instead of the beer hand. A lot of people are not using the beer hand. Lady Sharon's in the house. Welcome. Good morning. Popping in, liking and listening for support. Thanks. Hey, please leave a like on this live stream. It pushes it out to the YouTube algorithm, lets more people know, hey, there's a Splinterlands video going, or a live stream going on. As always, I appreciate it. Beer Money Engine says they don't have the game anymore. They're making a new one, as far as I know. I should check on them, though, and get you some more accurate info. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to mention any specifics, but you know, we can go forward with that. I just wanted to point out the difference between how that situation couldn't happen in Splinterlands. Alex Toro, sorry. Toro's in the house. Welcome. Beer Money Engine says, you know you're always welcome to my roundtables. It doesn't even have to be a Web3 related. My problem is finding time, but if we can set it up, no problem. You know me. My financial journey's here, says Hey Bronze Dragon. How's it going? Things have been moving along with the guild in Golem Overlord pretty good. I've been claiming over 100 shards every claim the last week or so. Nice. Yeah, I've been trying to do in Golem Overlord. We have a guild going, and I've been trying to focus our training. You can train different skills up for your guild. I've been trying to focus on skills that make us more part and shard, basically. Either directly through claiming or attacking, or indirectly from giving up less when we get attacked. So that's been my main focus. People's Guild says, at Alex Toro, long time, dude. What's up? Yeah, we haven't seen, I don't think Alex T's been around. It's been quite a while. Welcome. Okay, so with all that out of the way, let us look at, let's discuss my main question here for a minute. My main question is kind of along the lines of what we've been talking about this week with the new Conclave Arcana coming out. A lot of big changes, and we'll take a look at, a lot of us who are YouTubers have done videos on this week, this new set, and we've been talking about all the new powers and everything. But we'll take a look at that in here in a minute. But my main question here is, how is this, if you are first of all, I've got a fairly decent amount of people here that aren't Splinterlands players. Okay, so Splinterlands is a collectible card game that has existed for it's going on, 7 years now, on the Hive blockchain. And they're getting ready to come out with their 6th core sets, just like any other collectible card game. They sell packs, and there's a lot of details. They're really changing it up this time around. The pre-sale is getting ready to go live in about a week or so, maybe a little bit more. And I think the 22nd, I think, yeah. So, it's you buy packs, and there's several different types of packs to buy. You use those cards in game to play card games. Let's go over here, ranked play. I don't know how I feel about these this new screen like this. I think this is better for mobile play, which is they're trying to make things easier with this game, because they're also developing a mobile app for it. You can currently play it in your mobile browser, but they've been really streamlining everything over the last year to play and look better on the mobile browser. And then they're working on the mobile app, which I haven't heard anything recently about, but I think that's where this lands. It doesn't necessarily do a whole lot for me here on just a regular computer screen, although I think the artwork looks cool. But having to go through a second to click a button, but I can see probably why they put that in there for the mobile app. But okay, let's see. Alex T says, what's up? Glad to see you going strong. Splinterlands' biggest YouTuber. I don't think I'm the biggest YouTuber. There's a few other guys bigger than me. Old schoolers still going on. I know Bulldog's a lot bigger than me. I know Dwayne's is bigger than me, but I keep chugging along, and I'm covering Splinterlands. I'm covering other games like Atlas Earth, and I've been playing RavenQuest lately. So I'm one of those guys that it's all a personality thing, right? I've played with people who just get on one game, and that's all they do. I'm like the opposite of that guy. I'm the guy who plays several different games because I'll play a game. I think over the last several years, Splinterlands has been my consistent game where I'm always playing it every day and interacting with it, especially with Land 1.75 coming out several weeks ago. I've been really interacting with Land lately. Obviously, with Conclave Arcana right around the corner, I've been interacting with all this new information we received this week and trying to think of how that's going to impact me. To answer my question is, I still don't think I'm going to be a modern player. But the interesting point is that I love to see new cards, and I love all the new abilities and how they're approaching the set and everything they've brought forward that we've talked about for a number of years. They've brought into the set and this new set going on. So I think everything they're doing is cool. And then there's this whole dynamic about where for so long we were playing in Modern with, or whoever was playing, with maxed out Chaos Legion set. That is going to come, and with Rebellion and other cards, but that is going to completely change, right? Because now we're going to, the Chaos Legion is going to cycle out. And we've got Rebellion and we've got Conclave Arcana cards, which are relatively expensive, holding their value, holding their price. And speaking about holding their value and holding their price, if I could click over, have you guys seen SPS and DEC today? Yeah. So I was looking at a Discord chat, and somebody was saying that we had hit peg on DEC. I don't think Splinter Cards is exactly accurate due to a few different reasons, which I'm not completely sure of. But they were showing prices on other places where you could buy it where DEC was at peg. Either way, it's showing at 95 cents here per thousand. And look at this. I wish I could click on this and make it larger. But look at this steep incline on SPS. I wanted to try to buy some SPS yesterday. I'm glad I bought some earlier in the week. I bought some DEC and SPS earlier in the week. I've been buying small batches here all along. But guess what? The Transact bridge is down, so I can't buy any. So it is down yesterday and today. I pinged out on, I just made a general chat in Discord earlier, and Royal Eagle says they were aware of it, and they're trying to, they got delisted for some reason again. Apparently this has happened in the past. Hopefully they get it resolved because Transact is the general way that I go ahead and buy SPS and DEC in the game. A lot less hassle. I said hassle than we used to have to go through. Okay, let's jump back into chat and see what everybody's saying. Tarab the Bold is here. Welcome, says hi, Bronze Dragon. A flying visit today. My to-do list is mighty. Popped in to drop a like. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Likes always help. Appreciate it. And also, if you're watching a video, a little chat, a little message, leave a little message underneath the video always helps as well. So I appreciate it. Alex T says bald orangutan emoji. If you put a picture of AZ, then put a picture of that orangutan from the Jungle Book, you couldn't tell who's who. Oh, come on, be nice. Nah, you got the biggest following. They don't get as many people on their streams as you do. They don't get as many views as you do. Well, I don't keep. I mean, I keep track of the views I get, and I've just tried to improve what I do. And this live stream is completely different than a lot of people do it. I was thinking about, I was watching the People's Guild, how they put out their product, and a number of other people. And I never have really done like a interview. In fact, I think they're a lot better than I would be on an interview. But we all got our own style. So just anyway, all I can say is I appreciate watching my videos and, leaving likes and chatting in the comments, because it all helps. Appreciate it. And Alex T says Aftersound probably the second biggest. Yeah, he consistently puts out a lot of videos. In fact, I know whenever I pop on to, pop my iPad open to work out in the morning, I can always count on some kind of new topic from Aftersound in the morning. Wibble says, I'm dropping down to silver and gold, probably going to play Chaos Legion deck in survival. Glint is problem, though. Yeah, back to my original question. The idea occurred to me that this huge change is going to go, into modern. And what we're going to do is we're not going to have so many people at the very top playing maxed out decks. Of course, you're going to have the usual suspects, the guys and gals who pour tons of money into the game. That's fine. They're putting a lot of money into the game. They deserve to play where they're at, right? Have no problem with that. But it's going to bring this whole dynamic where we're going to have a lot more people playing, especially the very beginning of the set, playing in bronze, silver, and then gold. Now, if you're old schooler, and you worked your set up from the bottom up, it's hard to build a good solid set of cards by just opening packs. And that's what it's going to be at the beginning. Because there's going to be some people trying to flip their cards, right? You open a bunch of packs, and then some people choose, instead of play those cards, throw those cards on the market. We all know how that works. At the very beginning of a set, the cards will go for an ultra premium. I mean, I can remember spending $25 on a Jin Oceanus, and I could list 5 or 10 other cards that I spent way too much on, but that's all in hindsight. We know that's going to happen. So you're going to have people that spend a lot of money on cards when the card pack comes out, and then people start just listing. Now, we're going to have that time period, that pre-sale time period, where people are also going to flip the card packs, right? They're going to try to buy a bunch of packs to, now there's no essential discount for buying tons of packs, but you can buy the packs, sell the packs for a slight discount to somebody else, and then use that money to go ahead and buy more packs, get more credits for the pre-sale cards, right? So that's another thing. So there's going to be a lot going on. Not that I'm going to partake. Well, I am going to buy some card packs in the pre-sale, right? Because I'm a card player, right? But I don't think, and that remains to be seen, but I don't have a lot of Rebellion cards. And I don't know. I mean, do I want to jump into Bronze Modern? I don't know. It's bronze is usually like hitting your head against the wall. So we'll see about that. I do know that I'm psyched about land, and the changes I've been making lately are going into my land and improving my land plots. I've got 20 now. I've got one completely undeveloped that I need to work on, but the rest are coming along nicely. And I will probably just remain playing in wild with the Archmage bot, and until it proves to be not worth my while, the last day of the season, which is going to be tomorrow, it looks like, I will go ahead and turn on survival mode, which Archmage supports survival mode now. If you haven't seen that and use Archmage bot, you can go into the settings of the UI and change it over. But with my set, I don't have. It lasted last week. It lasted pretty well through the day, but I started running out of Archons. Almost said Summoners. You almost got me. Archons. That's the name. that summoners have been changed, because we are the summoner now. I like the new racial archons and that whole idea. The team really put a lot of thought into this set with all the changes they brought into the set. Let's look back at chat because I've been blathering on. Tarab says, modern may be an easy entry in the market, is awash with commons, rares, and the summoners from dollar pack market are relatively cheap. Yeah, but I don't think those are going to get you much past bronze. May be wrong. Who knows? A common rare Conclave Arcana deck may be a viable starter at lower levels, sprinkling in a few epics and legendaries as the market settles. Yeah, I mean, that's the general strategy, right? I just don't know how effective just a common and rare deck would be. You'd have to start buying up a few. It just depends upon what the cards end up looking like. I like the artwork. I love this whole racial synergy idea. I love how the let's reload Peak D. Every time I bring Peak D up, it needs to be reloaded. What I want to look at is the neutral cards they're giving away here. Well, not giving away. You have to buy them, basically. But, you know, don't dismiss the importance of these cards, because these will... What's that new power work? It works with the racial synergies. So not only are these neutral and can work with any of your splinters, they also will work with your racial splinter. I almost said splintergies. Racial synergies. So I'm trying to see what that power is called. It's Painforge, Bloodline, Resurgent, Shapeshift. Yeah. Okay, so Shapeshift, in case you didn't miss that, one of the important parts, not only are these generally pretty good cards, is one of their powers is Shapeshift, and that's that icon right there, that little two-face icon. So what that means is that they will work with the racial synergy archons. Had to think for a minute. So the archons, say you got a dwarf archon, you can pull, and say it's fire, right? But you can pull dwarves from any other splinter. But you can also pull shapeshifters as well. So that's going to really change things up. How it changes things up, who knows? The promo cards, always expensive, you know, to get into, but I like the artwork, and I like the whole idea set that really that team really put a lot of thought into coming up with these ideas. Whether they got it from another game or not, I think it's going to be pretty cool. Alex T goes on to say, if we get a bull run, SPS will go to 25 cents. Well, wouldn't that be nice? I just like the fact that we're in generally the rest of the market, unless I'm wrong, and generally, I don't follow the markets really, but generally I think the markets are in a bear type status right now, and the game SPS and DEC are pumping, and it's against the trend. I think it's mostly obviously because the new set's coming out, but it's still a very cool. It's a thing to feel good about, right? Especially if you're on the team, right? So. The People's Guild says, do either of these promos strike your fancy? Yeah, I like them both. I'm definitely going to get me some Arcane Skinwalkers. I don't know if I'm going to spend $400 to be able to get the Grammel. I may end up pulling him off the market. This looks like a card that who knows what it's going to list for when it starts off, but might settle, be one of those like $50 cards or something like that. Now, are these cards... just like the other black foils, are they max level to start off with? Do each 4%. I didn't know if these were going to be single BCX or maxed out. They are black foils, and they said all black foils are max level. So I might just be able to get one. If I don't know. I don't think, to answer you directly, I don't think that I'm going to spend $400 in the pre-sale. I think I might go up to 150 maybe, just buying a variety of packs. And I could score myself Arcane Skinwalker. And then, obviously if you spend this level, you get it takes 40,000 DEC or $40 basically to get a rare, and then 400 bucks to get a legendary. So we'll see. But the answer is I like them both. And I think that with the racial synergies and this new power they have, they're going to see a lot of play. Okay. This is one of the values. And I haven't done a whole... I used to do a whole series of card focused Friday videos where I tried to find good value cards. Now, I'm not talking about price-wise. I'm talking about the price to how much you can play it and get out of it in the game. And neutral cards are generally a little bit higher priced than other cards, except for maybe dragon cards. Gathering could answer that. But because they have a lot of play value. You can play them in so many different situations, except for, obviously the play where, neutrals are banned. But especially in this new, what do I want to call it? New way of playing in the new set, it's going to, not only are they neutral and can be played in a lot of situations, they're going to be able to be pulled into a lot of different situations by the different racial synergy archons. So how well they combine with other things. I love cards with camouflage, but then again, kind of jumping around here. Sorry, I'm jumping around. Jump around. I think of that Beavis and Butthead skit. So there's a new power, reveal. Okay, so I use camouflage a lot. Okay, it's just kind of one of those standard powers I pick. Hey, I've picked out the rest of my lineup. I need somebody to go in the back. Who am I going to put in the back? Somebody with camouflage, right? Standard setup, right? Well, guess what? We have cards with reveal now, okay? And this is an anti-camouflage tactic. So I know I'm jumping around. Sorry about that. But that talking about one thing I like on the cards just brought up, I saw the camouflage. Also, the Arcane Skinwalker, interestingly enough, would be an anti-magic play, Sorry, I've been talking a lot. I'm going to jump back into chat. Alex T says, some dude at my job said the crypto peak will be in October. Okay, yeah. Well, there's other people that do a lot of videos that are consistently like, yeah, the pump's going to be 2 months from now. I try not to do those videos. But if it's happening now, I'll point it out because it's news, right? And it's something that we've all been waiting for more than a year and a half, 2 years. Alex T says, I might buy, I skipped one thought. I thought it would be in November, December. Now I'm not too sure. I haven't been following. Work was gotten crazy. The world's breaking apart. Yeah. Not doing anything political here. I prefer to keep this game related. He says, I might buy 1,000 packs of Arcane Katana just to support the project. Skyer NJ, new name. Love to see new folks stop by. Thanks for dropping by. Supreme Victory Studio says, bye-bye, my darling Lux Vega. You will be missed. I'll tell you what, Lux Vega got a lot of play. My brother bought one back when they were new. I did not buy one, and I've rented one several occasions, several different seasons, and it basically was a 75%er. If you rented, and I was playing in Wild. I know it got a lot of play in Modern, but I have a lot of decent max level summoners. But if you rent a Lux or buy a Lux, my Archmage bot played it like 75% of the time. I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep an eye on those prices. If people are dumping them due to going out of Modern, I might pick one up. Skyr NJ says, "Sup, Bronze Dragon?" Well, just hanging out on my usual Saturday morning stand-up. We talk Splinterlands and other Web3 related games. Doing pretty good myself. It's kind of a gray, rainy day here today. Alex says, WTF is an Archon. Well, that's what we used to call summoners. They are changing the name, or they have changed the name, to Archons. So we just have to remember that. The whole point is like a storyline point that we, the players, are the summoners, and the Archons basically are who we call forward. And there's also going to be a change. Like I said, if you haven't watched the Town Hall, it's well worth the time. I would put it on, listen to it back, put it on like 1.25 speed, so it runs a little bit faster. So you can save a little bit of time, but it's a lot of good, solid information in there. I'm trying to find, okay, so these are the Archons, and how the Archons / summoners are going to work is you're going to have racial ones, okay? So like you're going to have dwarves, orcs, elves, Uland, gnomes, and it looks like the dwarves are in fire, the elves are in earth. I don't know why you would have orcs in water, but the Uland, which is a lot of jokes surrounding that card, but it looks pretty cool in life, and then the gnomes in death. But you're going to be able to field teams like this, and you're going to have racial synergies from the Archons, and they're going to be able to pull their race from any other splinter in your hand. So even though this Archon is death, he can pull a gnome from fire, and play it. So a lot of cool stuff. Like I said, watch that show. A lot of good information. And Wibble goes on to say, Archon is a new name for summoners. Splinters are now elements. Oh, I didn't catch that they're changing the name Splinters to elements. Okay, well, it took me long enough to remember Splinters. Now I have to remember elements. The only constant in this world is a big we. Alex T says, what the hell? They changed the cards. Yep. Oh, yeah. The new cards look pretty cool, I think. And if you haven't seen that live stream, the black foil arcane cards have a new animation to them. Of course, they're going to be ultra rare. Definitely cool, though. KGM Jan's in the house. Welcome. Says, what's up, Bronze Dragon and everyone? Glad to see you here, KGM. Jabby Saints is in the house. Hey, hey, hey. Alex T says, shapeshifters? Yep. Why did they have Fiend under the name? Well, that is going to be, it plays into what we were talking about, the racial synergies. So now they're going to label the cards. What is that card? Is it a Fiend? It's a Gnome? It's an Elf? It's a Uland? It's an Orc? It's a Dwarf? So that you know specifically what your racial synergies are, and your Archon can pull that character. So there'd be no question about looking at the card and saying, oh, that kind of looks like an Orc. It could be a Dwarf. That kind of thing, to kind of bypass that. And also the name Fiend is going to be changed. I forget what they're changing it to, but I remember them talking about that. So the name Fiend, they're moving away from that. What's a construct or something like that? Does anybody remember what Fiend's changing to? Tarab says, funny that 2 promos with Shapeshift are also neutral. Yeah. I guess the Shapeshift... Well, here's the thing. I was trying to think of why would the Shapeshift have any value if they're already neutral. Well, they could still be played in the... Correct me if I'm wrong. This might be a team question, right? This might be a they call me Tim question. If you're in a no neutrals match, can you play one of those neutrals because it has shapeshift and be called out by one of the Archons? Interesting question. I don't have the answer to that. Are black border cards neutral now? No, Alex, they are not. They are black foils. These cards are black foils. And they are the information. Check out, if you're interested, check out Discord under the announcements section in the Splinterlands. They'll have this Peak D article listed, and also discussion on the live stream this past week, Town Hall. Black foil and black foil arcanes are new foil types in the game, even rarer than gold foils, and even more limited. But when you get one, it's already max level. Okay, so they have better advantages, and the arcane versions of them actually have animations on them too. So a lot of cool stuff coming into game. Tarab says, but I guess get the Bloodline Dominion Archon bonus as well. Yeah. Alex says, hell no, I leave for a few months and everything changes. Yeah, well, you know, we've been talking about this set. You know, January was kind of dull. They were getting back up and running from the holidays, and then they just like kicked it into full gear. And excuse me. And there's been a lot of releases. It seems like every week I come onto this show and I'm like, well, there's a lot to discuss this week, you know? So, but especially this week, because we've been looking forward to this. We've been talking about it, you know, hey, the pre-sale is going to go live. This article has all the information. So if you're interested, I would definitely take a look at it. All of us YouTubers have done videos on this information as well, if you want our input on it. But if you're going to take part, I definitely say read through this article and get the details before you go spending any money. Crypto Beaver says, I put aside 400,000 DEC to get me that super sweet card. Nice. I could probably squeeze out 400,000 DEC between what I have here and what I have. I don't think I have quite that much. I've been getting a little bit of DEC off a Splinter Trader. Let's see. Haven't checked it today. Okay, so I have 200,000 in Splinter Trader. I think of that 200,000, 175,000 is what I put in. So I've made about 25,000 DEC since. I have to look at my spreadsheet just to be accurate. Why does OneDrive always fail to load? I need to refresh my spreadsheet. Okay, so I started at the end of January, the 27th of January, and yeah, you know, 3.5 months, whatever. I've made about 25,000 DEC, and definitely my shares went down since we started talking about it on this live stream. More people have jumped into it, so not an investment advice. You know, so my whole idea was put some in over here and check it out over time to try to make some more DEC to use on Conclave Arcana. So, but yeah, I could probably squeeze it out. I got to think about it. That's a lot of money. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? Wibble says, you probably haven't heard about the Wind Beaver either then. I've seen that on Discord a few times, but I just didn't know exactly what that was. Yeah, we don't need to be talking about beavers. So People's Guild inserts a we. Alex T says, Wind Beaver sounds awesome. Is there a place to find out all the new stuff? I don't know about Wind Beaver, but I know that all the new stuff as far as what we're talking about, the new set, it's listed on this Peak D article, which is linked under the information announcement section under Splinterlands Discord. And of course, you can always comment on your friendly neighborhood YouTuber to comment on it, whether that be me or somebody else. Crypto Beaver says, LOL, Beaver Supreme. Would love to create a new summoner with a Beaver King on it. Sure, all you have to do is spend like $1 million on the pre-sale, and then you can create your own Archon. Not summoner, Archon. I believe a beaver would have to be Earth. Unless it was like necrotic, and then it could be death. An undead beaver? What are your thoughts on that? Alex T says, where is Gathering the Magic when you need him? Usually he's here. Must have something else going on today. I watched one of his videos earlier, from earlier in the week. He works a second shift, so I don't know. Wilbur says, oh, he's called MTG now. Yeah, they did a shout out on the town hall to a little bit saying basically thanks for us YouTubers keep covering the game and everything. And instead of saying Gathering the Magic, they said Magic the Gathering. So obviously you don't want to get into that conundrum where you get a big company like Hasbro breathing down your neck after already ruining a game. Oh, did I say that? Skyr NJ says, and you finally have a counter for Lily Shieldpaw. Yeah, you're right. Alex T says he wants a Beaver King. Alex T says, Skyer ain't new. That MFer older than me. Okay, well, I just said that he was new to the show because I hadn't, unless you've changed your name, I didn't recognize the name. Of course, I'm not, I can't remember what I had for dinner 2 nights ago, so there's always that. People's Guild says, I'm pretty sure Skyer bought my original Rooney off me. Our Faded Glory Plays is here. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Can you still find totem fragments if you're doing research? Yeah, if you're doing research or if you have a castle or a keep. That's how it currently stands. Speaking of that, let's look at... I need a few more totems. I do have some totems. I have the majority of my lands have totems. Haven't looked at them lately. So a common totem claim is $15. They've really went up. Okay, so a common totem is $10.99. A rare totem about $11 or $40 if you're going for a rare. The actual shards are $1.42. $1.43, which makes a whole totem cheaper than buying shards. Yeah, it's a little bit cheaper to buy your whole totems now than to buy shards and combine them. In the past, I've found that you just have to really look at them and see if it's cheaper just to buy shards and combine them to make your totem, or if it's cheaper just to buy them whole. I have about 80% of my lands with totems on it. I have a couple rares, but most of them have common totems on them because I'm not a real big spender. And most of my common totems were bought back when they were like $6. And I told everybody, put some common totems on your land. Just scrolling through chat here, see what everybody's up to, talking back and forth. Yeah, the black foils are cool, Alex T. Very limited and numbered as well. So that plays to not only are they cool looking cards, but they have collectability, more collectability value now. So it's all explained on the article as well as the town hall. I think the article, there's some, it doesn't say it I mean, it's harder to understand here. Listen to the town hall, listen to them talk about it, and it comes out more. So this is the gold foil and black foil arcane mint population, which means like the black foil arcane, which is the black foil that has the arcane runes that sparkle on it. It's an animation. So there's only going to be 20 black foil arcanes of each card ever minted. Okay. Only 10 rares, 5 epics, and 1 of each legendary card ever minted. And these are going to be pre-populated at the beginning of the set and then sprinkled throughout the set's lifespan. Now, if you're thinking immediately, just like I did, well, your ability to get those would increase as the set wore on. You're right. So would that make it better for us to save our packs to open? Yes and no, because right up front, this is another thing that they devised into the set. Okay, so one of the things kind of that beset Rebellion was the fact that as Rebellion wore on, there wasn't much incentive other than getting more cards to buying packs at the end. Okay, so the incentive right at the beginning of Conclave Arcana is to collect your card set and be able to play with it, right? And then as time goes on, they're adding this incentive for people to continue to buy and open packs, because as time wears on, you still have that ability to get these really cool ultra rare cards, and they're going to show the numbers. There's going to be an output, and you're going to be able to look in live, updated live, they said. Somehow it's going to show you, hey, there's 20 of the, there's 10 of these left. You have these odds or percentage chance of pulling these. So one of the things I've kind of devised into my plan is I'm going to figure out how many card packs I'm going to buy during the pre-sale. And then I'm going to factor in that each week, and I may do it here on the live stream, I'm going to open a few packs, maybe $10 worth, whatever $10 worth equals. Every week I'm going to open those packs. And that's, you may say, well, that's not much. Well, it's a lot more than I usually do, because it's been a while since I opened up packs other than once in a while type things. But I'm going to factor this into my Conclave Arcana strategy. Open a few packs every week. It's not a lot, but over time it'll build up. And also over time, I will have those certain amount of odds of actually pulling those cool cards. And if you pull a black foil, it's going to be max level right out. So you don't have to worry about getting multiple BCX. Oh well, non-exciting for the bigger guys, but for us lower guys, I just was thinking about it, and that's what I'm going to do. So, okay. Yeah, I'm falling behind in chat because I'm blathering on. Alex T says they do anything to land. They sure did. Check out my channel, and I did a whole video, and a number of us YouTubers did videos chatting about the 1.75 release, which was what, 3-4 weeks ago at this point. Huge changes. And the People's Guild kicks in the Divine Construct. Yes, that is what they are going to call Fiends now. And if you're wondering if it works with that one, I'm picturing her in my head, but she's the one that draws power off the Fiends. Yes, the power is going to be changed to work with Divine Construct, because I specifically asked about that in the live stream. Alex C said they add any items and spells yet? Yes and no. No, what you're asking. But they are adding the black foil potions, okay? And the black foil potions, as far as I know, is going to play off of using research, which is the whole idea there. Research is going to be able to, in some way or form or fashion, be traded in for permits. And then permits will be able to be used to build buildings that will specifically, you can specifically make these black foil potions, whatever they're called, midnight potions. They have a cool artwork for them. I think they're the coolest looking potions so far. But those will work just like regular potions in the fact that they'll double your chances to get black foil cards when you open specific packs, packs. So just another potion, but it's another method to do something with your research and also be able to possibly produce these potions and sell them for money, you know, so make a little money that way if you deem that. Skyer and Jay says the race from the 0 mana cards is constructs, although they have Fiend on the name. Yeah, I think he said they're going to change that. The Fiend, the terminology Fiend, I think is going away and it's going to be replaced with Construct or Divine Construct, whatever. Jabby Saint says, I think Shapeshift only refers to Bloodline, not the Splinter element. Or no neutral set. Neutral shapeshifters cannot be used. Interesting. Okay. Skyer NJ says there is a new race, and that is going to continue to be Fiend. Oh, really? Oh, really? So they are changing some Fiends to be Divine Construct, and there's going to be a totally new race called Fiend. Alex T says, well, I got to do a bunch of research now. Yeah, that's what you get for sitting out for a while. Huge amounts of change going on. They're going all in. You know, they've got not just one new guy, well, new, he's been with the team for a while, for marketing, but they've got a whole team lined up for marketing as well, working in various ways. They pulled on somebody to take the business duties away from Matt, so Matt can focus on what he needs, what he would feel better and be better at focusing on as far as game design. And I really think that is starting to show. I know it's starting to show with all these changes. You think about all the thought process and the testing process and the development process that went into this. This is not just a straightforward old school card set that we've been used to, you know. This has got a lot of different dynamics to it. Alex T says, what's SPL Trader? It's a third-party guy who developed this, developed a bot that can buy and sell cards. But if you stake DEC, it takes the staked DEC and it buys cards that it sees on the market as a deal, and it resells it. Then it takes the profit from that sale. 40% goes to the team that runs it, and then the rest of the 60% is divided amongst the pool of people who have DEC staked, and you get your percentage depending upon how much of that pool you have. So you can also use the bot to do card buys and sells as well, but I haven't dove into that as well yet, if I do. He says, I'm not sure if I like the Archon name. They did need to change that, how all worked, though. Yeah, I think it was just more from a naming perspective and just to be very clear about it. Skyer says, I never managed to catch a stream. Well, it's good to see you when you can. The more people here, the better the conversation, more input. Alex C says the prices of everything went up. Yeah, you're just recognizing that, right? Everything's pumping, you know, and it's just a culmination. From my viewpoint, it's a culmination of everything that they've been working on. Land 1.75 started driving the card prices up. People trying to buy up a lot of the cards to both be put on land as well as be put into. If you've been gone for a while, you probably, if this would load, you probably don't even know about survival mode. There's another variable for you. Check out survival mode. A lot of people started buying cards up for survival mode as well. Totally new mode to play, as well as the new sets and everything, the new set that's coming in and all the changes that are involved with that, because there's a lot of stuff that they've been working on that's going to go in when the new set goes live. I don't know if it's timed the same, but as far as the new player experience with the new low-end set of cards that is coming in, a lot of changes. So I know I'm way behind in chat. I always get here where I miss a bunch of chat towards the end of the show. Ikea is here. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, they're called midnight potions. Skyer says, I heard that advice. Managed to buy $6 totems for all my plots. Like that, the taxes are covered. Yeah, I had bought the common totems for all my plots at that time, and that's when I had like 14. But now, since then, I bought 6 more, and the totems have went up since then. So I do need to go ahead and outfit them before they go up too crazy high. Alex T says, I heard about survival mode, but I haven't played. Survival was the last thing I heard about. Yeah, if you want to play, I'd say try it out on the last day of the season, because what happens is when the season flips over, the cards reset. So I did that last week. Last season. I'm going to try it this season as well. I play my bots my Archmage bot in Wild on 2 accounts. Through the majority of the season, and my primary account, that last day of the season, I just switch over and let the bot play in Wild or play in survival for me. Last time it didn't net me a whole lot. This time I will start like instead of having to start in wood, I'll start in bronze. So I'll work my way up a little bit. I'm going to do that a series of, a few different seasons in a row just to see if it's worth it. This last season, I would have made more SPS just by staying with the bot running in Wild that last day. Joffrey Jones is here. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Black foils are cool, but most people won't be able to get them. Yeah, that's for sure. They're very limited. Would have been cool if they added another foil that was more obtainable for normal people. Yeah, but what you gonna do? What you gonna do, brother? Alex C says, yeah, I heard Dave is now the COO. Not sure how I feel about that, but it seems to be helping. I think Dave's been reaching out to a lot of people and doing a lot of work. He's reached out to all us YouTubers, created a whole new separate channel just to kind of keep us up on information. So my hat's off to Dave, especially if he can get... I've always felt that one of the downsides of the game was that we had a developer pulling business duties. And I'm not saying he couldn't do it. I'm saying that that's not where he wanted to be. And if any of us are doing something that we don't really like doing, we're not going to perform optimally, right? So I like to see Matt back in the chair where he prefers to be. And I like to see a guy who's used to and good at doing business, skilled at doing business things in that position. Like I always said, if I want my car fixed, I'll go see a mechanic. That's the type of thing. A person doing a job that is skilled in it makes a lot of difference. Okay, well, I want to say thanks for everybody stopping by. Please leave a like and subscribe on the channel if you haven't. I hope everyone has a great week coming up. And as I always say, I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy, because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And I will see you in Splinterlands.